One Essex, it has some of the very best work at the commercial bar. And that means that you can work on really exciting cases and learn from some brilliant people who are at the top of the profession. And you get to do that in a really supportive environment. So it is a brilliant place to practice as a barrister. What other sort of films do you do?
We do all sorts of different films.
That's my bad side, by the way. There are around 135 barristers in chambers, so it's a big set, but at the same time manages to feel very kind of intimate and friendly. So there's a whole range of cases on offer, I would say, from the kind of heavyweight, big, long commercial trials to smaller work on your own or with maybe one leader in a smaller team.
Anything that's high enough value, people will come here. So that's the kind of unifying factor. But beyond that, it covers the whole gamut of English civil law pretty much.
At the moment, I'm working on an enormous piece of litigation in the Technology and Construction Court. One of the huge benefits of working on a case of that size is that you get to work not only with Dan Toledano, who's our head of chambers, at the top of the team, but with all the barristers in between, all the way down to baby juniors like me.
Traditionally in the bar, very few people moved. I think it's becoming more and more common, but it is still a bit daunting, particularly when you're moving to a set like One Essex, because you worry that you'll feel like a bit of an outsider. But actually the nice thing is that ever since I joined One Essex, everyone has been very welcoming and friendly.
I think I was definitely quite nervous before I started, but everyone was so kind and welcoming. There's been a lot of support from my peers, from people who are senior, from the clerks. It's been really positive.
I think the plan is on Thursday at sort of 4 o'clock, something like that, to have cake.
Sometimes there's a kind of perception outside One Essex that because it's a big commercial set, it's going to be full of sharp-elbowed people competing with each other. And certainly since I've joined, I haven't found that. I've found more saying no to cases than fighting for work.
Yeah. Which one? 2 hours.
Can I do this? Can I do this? Can I vote?
You have your own team of clerks, so you really get to know the clerks on your team. They really get to know you. They know what you want to be doing, and if you express an interest in, say, employment law like me, they'll find cases that might have an employment law focus and put you forward for commercial cases that might have an overlap with those sorts of areas.
Every year or a bit more often, you meet with the clerks on your team and you can talk through the cases you've been doing. So it's kind of a bit like a progress meeting where you can set out where you would like to go and how you might work together.
Everyone in chambers gets their own room. I wanted the sort of juxtaposition of the historic building with more modern interior. I wanted my room in chambers to feel like a sort of oasis, kind of calming atmosphere.
It's really nice having that space that feels yours and that you can use to work how you want to work.
Congratulations.
We've got some drinks tonight for people who've just been made silk. So there's a few sort of chambers big celebrations.
We have drinks, afternoon teas, breakfasts, have lunch with your friends. So that really makes kind of a collegiate atmosphere.
Quite a lot of the juniors just go to the pub together.
They said, is there a One Essex side? And I said no. There are some people who like to ride horses at the weekend.
I don't think there is an OEC type. There are a whole load of different people here. There are people who spend their weekends horse riding, and there are people who spend their weekends playing computer games, and everything in between.
It's a very broad church, but I think that everyone is extremely friendly, down to earth, very clever and passionate about what they do.
One Essex Court is a chambers packed full of some of the most intelligent people you'll ever meet, doing some of the most interesting work you'll ever see, which at the same time maintains a hugely friendly and relaxed atmosphere.